A girl named Minako was about to show her boyfriend her newly learned skill, but he just made a strange comment about a search engine, patted her cheek, and casually went to take a shower, leaving her completely baffled. 3 days earlier, she had told her best friend, Mireille, that she and her boyfriend, Sato, were getting married. Mireille's reaction was a bit awkward because she and Sato had been secretly involved behind Minako's back. The story goes back 6 years, when Mireille was helping Minako move. It was then that she first met Sato. Being introverted and having never been in a relationship, Mireille couldn't help but stare at the affectionate couple. Sato misinterpreted her gaze, thinking his girlfriend's best friend was interested in him. He made an excuse about being out of cigarettes and sent Minako to buy more. A girl in love can be naive, and she never considered what might happen leaving her boyfriend and best friend alone together. After Minako left, Sato walked right up to Mireille and asked with a grin, "Have you ever experienced the joy of having a boyfriend?" Startled, Mireille didn't have time to react before Sato grabbed her hand and pressed the issue. And just like that, Mireille was taken advantage of by Sato. She didn't resist, giving her first time to her best friend's boyfriend. Afterward, Mireille blamed herself, thinking what happened to her was forced, while her friend's relationship was consensual. But the outcome was ultimately the same. After graduating, Mireille became a high school teacher. For 6 years, she was a dedicated educator by day and Sato's tool at night, causing her to develop depression. Despite this, she put on a brave face, pretending nothing was wrong. This all changed with the arrival of a male student named Yuki. One day in class, Yuki bent down to pick something up and accidentally saw a female classmate's undergarments. Another student called him a pervert, and the whole class erupted in laughter. In a panic, Yuki blurted something out that stunned the girl and sent the class into another fit of laughter. Yuki could only make an excuse about needing the restroom and fled the classroom. The next day, a student wrote on the blackboard that Yuki wasn't impotent and had been seen at a hotel with a married woman. The student cheerfully explained to Yuki that he was just trying to help his reputation. Word of the incident reached the head teacher, who asked Mireille to handle it. Mireille found Yuki and told him, "The teachers believe in you. A good student like you would never do something like that." Before Mireille could finish, Yuki admitted to it. He confirmed he was at a hotel with a married woman, but insisted that the entire time, he was the one being forced. The word forced struck a chord with Mireille, reminding her of what happened with Sato. She then unleashed 6 years of her own pent-up frustration onto Yuki. "You're a man. How can you say you were forced by a woman? Does that even make sense? You're strong. You'll probably get a taste for it and go on to defile more girls. I will never forgive you." The 16-year-old boy, overwhelmed, cried out, "What's wrong with being a man? Can't a man be the one who is forced?" He then ran off without looking back. That night, Mireille met with Sato, threatening him about his marriage to Minako. However, Sato was completely unfazed and once again manipulated her. The two ended up at a hotel again. The constant torment caused Mireille's depression to worsen, and her doctor advised her to confide in a good friend instead of bottling everything up. On her way home, Mireille wondered who she could possibly talk to. Her only close friend was Minako. How could she tell Minako that her fiancé had been assaulting her for 6 years? Lost in thought, she saw Yuki sitting at her doorstep. He had come to apologize for his earlier outburst. The two of them began to talk. Without realizing it, Mireille found herself opening up to Yuki. Before he left, Yuki gave her a personal alarm with his phone number written on it. He explained that he had seen her arguing with Sato the day before and hoped the alarm could help protect her. Stunned by his words, Mireille's hand trembled, and she accidentally triggered the alarm. Fearing the loud noise would attract the neighbors' attention, Yuki tried to turn it off, but he slipped and knocked Mireille to the ground. Seeing Mireille's state, Yuki seemed to understand what she had been through. Over the next few days, Yuki stayed home from school. When Mireille finally called him 3 days later, he took the opportunity to confess his feelings for her, promising he would make the man who hurt her pay. Touched by his heartfelt confession, Mireille stopped him, saying she would resolve the matter herself. Mireille confronted Sato, asking him, "You don't like the willing Minako, but you like to force me. Is it because you're insecure and can only get pleasure from bullying women?" Her words hit a nerve. To prove he wasn't insecure, Sato went home and immediately forced himself on Minako on the table, releasing his frustrations without restraint. Looking at the completely obedient Minako, Sato seemed to realize that Mireille's words had gotten to him. For the next 3 months, Sato didn't bother Mireille again. Freed from his grasp, Mireille's mood brightened, and her relationship with Yuki grew closer and more intimate. Although they both knew their unconventional relationship wouldn't have a simple outcome. Meanwhile, Minako became pregnant from that day's incident. Seeing the happy expression on Minako's face combined with her complete devotion reignited the fire of Sato's insecurity. He once again tried to seek out Mirai, but Mirai refused him. Frustrated, Sato's actions were witnessed by Yuki. Acting as her boyfriend, he decided to confront Sato but was easily overpowered. Sato then called Mirai, using the young man to threaten her. To protect her new love, Mirai went alone to the familiar hotel. This time, Mirai was no longer silent. She stood defiantly before Sato and mocked him. Then she said, "For the sake of my best friend's happiness, and for the baby that's about to be born, I forgive you. Let's just get this over with, and then we'll go our separate ways." This threw Sato for a loop. It wasn't the script he was expecting. Provoked, he pushed Mirai down and began to hit her again and again. At that moment, he completely lost control. Through it all, Mirai didn't cry for help. She just silently endured it. After venting his anger, Sato went home and fell into a deep sleep, but Minako noticed the blood on his hands. She picked up Sato's phone and looked through it. She then rushed to the hotel. The sight that greeted her was a barely conscious Mirai. Minako burst into tears, repeatedly begging Mirai to forgive her. She confessed that she had known about her boyfriend and best friend all along, but she thought it was just a fling and that he would eventually come back to her. She never imagined he would do something like this. Even more shockingly, Sato tried to hang himself in a closet at home. Thankfully, Minako found him in time and got him down. Desperate to die, Sato begged his wife to kill him, but Minako told him she didn't care that he cheated with her best friend. For the sake of their unborn child and their family, she pleaded with Sato to live on bravely. Sato then called the police department and chose to turn himself in. Although Mirai was badly beaten, she felt incredibly happy inside because she had finally fought back. When she returned to school, she found that rumors of her and Yuki kissing had spread everywhere. To avoid causing problems for the school, she decided to resign. 2 years passed. Minako took their child to the prison to visit Sato and gave him the diaries she had written over the past 2 years. Minako said she would wait for Sato until the day he was released. Meanwhile, Mirai was living in a different city. One day, a flower delivery arrived for her. When she turned around, she saw a grown-up Yuki.